Hello, my fellow music nuts. It's me, Gubby, with another personal spin, and today I am going to review. No, I'm not. I'm going to rank Marilyn Manson's albums. Now, a couple of quick thingies. As always with my ranking videos, the change always changes a bit from time to time, depending on how I feel and blah blah blah, that sort of thing. But also, Marilyn Manson is one of the first albums I ever bought for myself at the tender age of about 11, possibly 12. And because of that, that particular album will be first because nostalgia is a powerful thing. However, I also genuinely think it's one of his best. Right, let me just check I've got them all in the right order this time so I don't do an annihilator on them. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, pretty much have, so that's good. I'm just going to flip them upside down. Whoops, and hopefully not drop them all over the floor. There we go. Right, so probably no surprise here, but my least favourite is Eat Me, Drink Me. I think that's what it's called. So I'm not even sure what it's called. I never really got into this album. I do like If I Was Your Vampire, and there's another one I like, Heart-Shaped Glasses. But the rest of the album I always found a bit dull. I don't know why, but I did. I think I'd moved on by this point. I'd been listening to Marilyn Manson for quite a while, and this came out in what year? 2007. Yeah, 2007. I was moving on to other things by this point, and it just didn't really grab my attention. And when I listened to them the last sort of week to decide, the ranking, it still didn't really grab my attention. So I guess that's why it's at the bottom, really. Next up, we have High and Low. Wait, the High End of Low. It's never really made much sense. This is an interesting album because it's not actually that bad. It's quite good. Oh my goddamn motherfucking Geddon is a really good song. I think it's in one of the John Wick films, isn't it? I don't know. I know Killing Strangers is. But my biggest problem with this one is it's too long. And it gets a bit sort of like, yeah, come on, just finish already. And by sort of track 10, I'm looking at me watch, except I don't have a watch, but I'm just finding myself thinking of something else to listen to, and it's never really kept my attention. It struggles to sort of really keep me engaged. Don't really know why, but it just does. So that's why that one's there. Next up is the debut album, Portrait of an American Family. This album's actually really good, but I think he's since released far better stuff. This feels like a band still working out what they want to do, how they want to do it, and things like that. And I think that's sort of evidenced by all the band members leaving and coming and going and coming and going and stuff like that. That said, though, there are some classic songs on here like Cake and Sodomy, Dope Hat, actually pretty much the whole album. But the cover scares me, and I don't know, I've just never really, I have got into it, but I've always preferred his later albums. Perhaps it's because I got into them, they're the ones I got into, and I sort of discovered this one a little bit later, but I've always preferred the rest of these albums. Next we have the quite aggressive and very sort of loud, I don't even know what it's called. I think it's called Say 10 or Heaven Upside Down even. I saw it was supposed to be called Say 10. It has that song on it, which is a good song. Sorry about the itchy nose. I don't know what's going on. But generally, I don't find this one. It's a very angry album, but it's missing that Marilyn Manson swagger. He's always had this sort of coolness to him, and it's kind of missing on this album, I feel. And yeah, don't know. He releases some better ones later, such as the Pale Emperor. The Pale Emperor is a really good one actually. It's got Killing Strangers on it, which is really good. Um, and Mephistopheles of Los Angeles, which is a mouthful to say. Um, Slave Only Dreams to Be King. There's some really good songs, and it has a slight country twinge to it because he's working with, I think it's this album that he's doing it with, somebody. Waylon Jennings isn't even alive. Shooter Jennings, that's it. I think it's his son. But yeah, it's kind of a little bit bluesy as well. I quite like it. It's fun. Next up, we have We Are Chaos, which is Marilyn Manson's newest album. My biggest critique is, as you can just see, this poster / lyric booklet is not contained within. It doesn't stay in there. It's just placed within and could easily get lost and fall out. And a lot of bands are releasing albums in these crappy cardboard cases, probably because it's cheaper and they don't feel like investing in CDs anymore, which I don't understand. Anyway, back onto the music. This album is really good. It's not catchy per se, but it's sonically pleasing. People have said there's a country swing to it, but there isn't really. But there is something about it that harks back to sort of the Hollywood era, and maybe Mechanical Animals. It's got it's really good actually. Really good. I wish I'd got the bonus version, but I didn't. Never mind. Don't Chase the Dead, We Are Chaos, Red, Black and Blue is a great opener. Really great opener. Just the whole thing really. Halfway and One Step Forward. It's a great album and you need to get it. Possibly it's definitely one of my albums of the year, but I'm not sure where it ranks. And in fact, in years to come, it will probably be higher ranked within the ranking. But I got to go with my faves, you know what I mean? And Born Villain came out in 2012, and it was kind of my interest in Marilyn Manson after those two not so great albums. I got this, I thought, ooh, this kind of sounds like Hollywood, but a little bit more structured, less long, and not quite as good, despite that. But it is pretty good, and it has an interesting cover picture of Marilyn Manson on the front, or Brian Hugh Warner as his actual name. Next, we have The Golden Era of Grotesque. This is the last album he released before I began to lose interest, before my second wave of interest in Marilyn Manson. I like this. It's not this album that put me off, it's the next one. I really quite like this, in fact. It's got that thing to it. You got This Is the New or New Hit, as it was censored. I remember that when I watched the video and it was like, this is the new hit. I was like, oh. You got Mob Scene and Dole Dagger Buzz Buzz Ziggity Zag, got my grotesque burlesque drag. It's great. The Golden Age of Grotesque. Use your fist and not your mouth. Hold the S because I am an ain't. It's so cheesy. Kaboom, 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 kaboom. It's great. I love it. It's also got Tainted Love, the cover. And yeah, however, I do feel that after Spade, it peters out a little bit. It's not quite so good after that, but you know, wanted to fill the album up with songs, so he did. Next, we have Antichrist Superstar. It's my third favourite. Actually, the last three are part of a trilogy that runs backwards, starting with Hollywood. This one is really industrial and really, really heavy, but it's also quite catchy. But of the three, it's my least favourite. Excuse me. Just because it is. I think out of these three last ones, this is the last one of them that I got, and that's probably why it's my least favourite. Not for any other reason, really. Whereas these two, I could swap these two round on a regular basis. But Mechanical Animals is the second one. I love this. This is the one that everyone compared him to David Bowie with. I can see the similarities, but not at the same time. It's very, very much a Marilyn Manson album. The songs are they're actually quite dark. Excuse me, I think I need a drink. The lyrics are quite depressing, and also I love that picture there. There's something cold and blank behind a smile. I mean, whew, he's right, but whew, that lyric just blows me away. And also, it comes in a blue case, which I love. But the whole album is great. It's so good. From the gospely backing vocals of I Don't Like the Drugs, but the Drugs Like Me, to sorry, I'm not ill. I just need a drink. I've been talking for a while. To Coma White. This is such a good album. And then that brings us to my favourite album, which is the first album I ever bought for myself. And then I also got a copy for Christmas, which is kind of funny, which means I had 2 copies. But this particular version comes with cards, I think. Anyway, hold on, let me just check. Yeah, look, cards and stuff. My original version, I don't know what happened to it actually. The case broke, and this was in a period where I didn't really look after my CDs that well, although I still have all of them except 2. And they all still work, surprisingly. But I lived in a caravan for a while, and I was a teenager and in my early 20s as well, and I spent a lot of time living at a friend's house, not really, I just didn't care for them. But these days I do, and this is my favourite album by him because nostalgia. I was 11, no, 11, no, 12 when it came out. I was 12 when I bought this. And I loved it, partially because of the controversy on the front cover. And I was trying to upset my mum because I was rebellious, but of course my mum was like, I don't care, so it didn't really work. But hey, I loved it. And she was like, oh, it's a phase, you'll go out of it. And I never did. Ha. So, yeah, I have fond memories of it. And also the songs are really good. From what's it called? What is it even called? Crucifixion in Space. Dean, this is, I think that's Crucifixion in Space. A Place in the Dirt is a pretty good one. You got the obvious hits like the Fight Song, Disposable Teens, and the Nobodies, obviously. But just the whole thing is really good. A little bit long, perhaps, but then this has got bonus tracks on it anyway. So, there we go. Well, thank you for watching. I have been Cubby. This has been a personal spin. This has been my personal ranking of Marilyn Manson's studio discography. If you like my videos in their casual format as they are, please like and subscribe, as I have many, many more videos to make. If you don't, that's fine. I enjoy making them for my own fun anyway. And I have a really big project coming up, which I shall be uploading today. In fact, I'll probably be uploading it before this video, so or possibly at the same time. So yeah, we shall see. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I shall see you soon. Goodbye.